Find your forte.
Live your forte.
And love your forte.
Criticism and everyone having a critique. I guess with you and, being on BKChat, for those that may not be familiar, BKChat is a very prominent web show where it's a lot of young people discussing a bag of stuff, as limitedly I can put it. But what was your experience like on that? Because I think, for me, I never quite really gave my full attention to it and my full energy to it because I just didn't really resonate with me. But from what I did gather from it and what I gathered from you, you seemed like the most level-headed one out of a selection of people who had very polarizing views, where if you could find someone that you could resonate with, it's likely to have come from your mouth. But then, ironically, because you were the reasonable one, you got backlash for that as well.
Not everyone's going to like me. Like, that's not possible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's going to be times, like, I'm only a human being. Like, there's going to be times where I do things, like, where I make an error in judgment and I do something, like, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, not everyone's going to like me. Of course I was going to get backlash. I put myself in, like, out there. I was going to get backlash. It doesn't matter how perfect, unless I sat there and said absolutely, that's even a lie. If I sat there and said absolutely nothing, it would have been, why is she there? Like, she don't even say nothing, like, just there, like, just do you know what I mean? It literally doesn't matter what you do. But I had an overwhelmingly positive response, and it really took a long while for me to actually be like, okay, cool, I can actually do something with this. It took me a hot minute. How
long did it take you? Like, what was your process going through that? Because from the outside looking in, it seemed it was a online viral phenomenon.
Yeah.
From where it went to where it is now, I'm sure, the producers and everyone behind it had a plan. But I'm sure that plan manifested, quite frankly, differently at one stage or another, especially around that kind of Channel 4 stage. When for you was it, okay, this could be something? Did you ever have that thought? And furthermore, in that kind of first 2, 3, 4 episodes where it was just every Thursday it'd come out?
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. You just knew that something provocative was going to be said, and then you had to kind of play up to that, knowing full well that you may not agree with the most prominent view that the show portrayed.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that? Because that can sometimes be a moral conflict.
The one thing about this show that I like is that everyone is viewed as an individual. I do think that is the case. I don't think we're viewed as a collective because there's such different characters in the show. I think everyone is appreciated in their own right, and luckily for me, that meant people saw me as I was and not as a part of this thing. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the show is an amazing idea. It's done so well. The producers worked so hard, and the team behind it is so talented. Like, they know their shit. Do you know what I mean? And I'm so happy to this day. Like, I'm so happy that I blew up for them. I didn't anticipate it at all. Like, I don't know if anyone did, because obviously I hadn't personally, but the producers and some of the cast members had recorded that a year before they put it out.
Really?
A year. The cast members kept changing, new people. I came on, I think I was the last person to come on board. Yeah, I was the last person to come on board out of that group. And it was, I've told the story so many times, but it's just so funny because it just wasn't even meant to happen. One of the producers, she's a photographer, excuse me, and she was taking pictures of me, and naturally we're just yapping away, and Andy was there in the room, and before I left he was like, oh, do you want to be on a talk show? And I was like, yeah, why not, fuck it, you can text me in it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And he texted me, and I was like, cool, yeah, I'm there. Went to the first one, started recording in summer, so about 3 months, and then obviously it came out 3-4 months, and it came out in November. And the first episode that you guys saw is the last episode that was recorded. So that whole year, that whole process, the first episode that you guys saw with the side chick thing, that was literally the last episode we recorded before we started putting it out.
Wow.
And at the time, in my head, I'm not really thinking about, oh, this is going to go viral. This is like an internet thing. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just like, this girl's mad. Like, this whole thing is mad kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking. It's just funny. Do you know what I mean? I'm not thinking it outside of that room. It's just contained in that room, that experience. And then it came out, and in my mind, you know, you had the really vocal people, the really like strong personalities, like Lucas. I was like, yeah, Lucas, Esther, you know, they're going to be the hits of the show. Everyone's going to love them because they're so this and they're so that. That's what I thought. That's in my head. That's what I'm like.
Okay.
Like people are going to like Lucas and Esther the most because, you know, they're so like, they're funny and whatever. Because for me, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna think, oh, you're so reasonable, you're so level-headed. In my head, I'm like, you're kind of dry. You're not really saying nothing. Do you know what I mean? You're not really giving them the fire. You're just being like, yeah, you know, I'm not really too fond of plastic surgery. I just don't know. I just feel like, you know, I just rather avoid it.
I guess
not
you're
interesting.
the bread
That's
to the
not
jam.
interest. That's not interesting opinion to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I didn't even go to the premiere. Like I didn't go, like I weren't invested in it like that because to me it was just something I was doing for fun, and they was gonna put it out and it's whatever. So I remember the premiere came out, and it was like a dress up thing, and I was just like, I was at school. I had like I had to redo a test with the kids after school, and I was just like, do you know what? It's just long. Like I'm tired. I'm not gonna go. And I remember the day after, a few people messaged me like, we saw the premiere, you was wicked, you was amazing. And I was like, oh man, thanks, like I appreciate it, whatever. Again, just like, oh, that's really nice of you, kind of thing. Like, yeah, like, everyone was rooting for you in the cinema. I was like, oh, that's so nice, kind of thing, whatever. Put it to the back of my mind. Next thing, the episode comes out, and everyone's like, Azryah, everyone is talking about you online. And I'm like, yeah? I'm like, swear down. They're like, you need to go and search your name.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't even know searching your name was a thing. Like, I didn't know you could do that. So it's like, yeah, you need to go and search your name. So I searched my name. It was like, the bald thing is kind of buff. And I'm like, swear down. And I remember looking at the episode. On my phone, yeah? Because that day, basically, the day we recorded that episode, it was my birthday the day before. And I came to set bare hungover. Like, I came to set like 5 hours later, and everyone was waiting for me. And I wasn't going to go that day. I was mash up. But Zoe kept calling me, and I was like, I feel bad, they're waiting for me. So I went, I'm not wearing any makeup, I got there, I was like, listen, let me put on some concealer in it and some mascara, because man looks a bit worked. So I went in, put on whatever, and we're sitting down, and in my head, I'm just like, whatever, you're not thinking anything of it.
Yeah.
So when it came out, I remember watching the episode, and I'm holding my phone like this, and I'm like, trying to see, like, well done, people think I'm cute, yeah? I hope so, no, I'm not looking at the phone kind of thing. And it just kept going, because obviously a lot of those episodes we had recorded before it came out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was.
Yeah, there was a sly fandom about you still.
It was mad. It was so mad. It was so mad.
The replies on your tweets and your pictures that you would post was a bit of a madness.
It was so mad, and I like, as much as like it's exciting. It's so humbling, especially when you don't expect it, because it's like raw, like. For some people, it depends how you take it, but for me, it's really humbling because I'm like, these people do not have to like me. I'm not even really doing anything. Like, they could actually hate me. I'm so lucky that they like me, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it was really humbling. But now I'm starting to be like, nah, you're shit. You're sick as. You're the shit. That's what I keep telling myself.
As you should do. But then going through that, you talking like things. What the hell are you doing?
He's waving.
He's waving. What a waste, man.
He wants to say something.
What do you want to say?
I was just going to ask, I think we'd like to know, what was the worst thing that you got in your DMs?
Oh yeah, alright, go on. Yeah, what was the worst thing you got in your DMs?
My DMs were closed.
So you didn't acknowledge any of them whatsoever?
No, they were closed. You couldn't DM me if you didn't
it?
follow me.
Was that just at the very beginning because of the overwhelming responses you were getting?
I can't remember, but I think they might have always been closed. I had no real reason to have them open.
Fair play.
But I might have had them open, I closed them. I just remember thinking, yeah, my DMs are staying all the way closed. All the way closed.
What was it like for you getting all those kind of like replies and like them just like saying a bag of stuff underneath your pictures and tweets and stuff like that? Because even that was funny to see, just in terms of, I remember there was one moment where I think you mentioned you were in a relationship, and it was just like heartbreak.
That was funny. But the thing is, it's funny because it's like, as much as it can be flattering or something, it's like, you're not the only person. Do you know what I mean? Like, enough women get that. Like, it's not, it don't really make you special, do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it's nice. You're kind of like, oh, that's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's nice, it's pleasant, like, it's a nice feeling. But at the same time, like, be real with yourself. Like, it's the internet. Like, beg, you get that. Like, it's not, it was funny though. Some of the replies are really, really, really funny. Really funny.
I can't.
Most of it makes me laugh. Most of it really makes me laugh.
I can't confirm with the knife I was in there, but you know, I saw it. I saw things. That's all I can say.
No, it was funny.
So now we've gone from kind of you doing teaching as your current profession, and BKChat has kind of been an experience which has given you a trajectory that you probably couldn't have thought of.
Yeah, at all.
How have you kind of leveraged that now? Because,
do you know what?
Like, for me, looking at it as well, is like, it's kind of turned a lot of people to larger than life, where now your voice is now magnified, and now what you say has a lot more significance. Where before you could have been Thradisha and no one would have really paid too much mind to it, but now because you've got this platform that all types of people are watching, and now you're talking on subjects which everybody's talking about, but now your voice matters more. How was that for you in terms of like knowing that your voice kind of had a bit more amplification than before?
It's been a huge learning curve for me, because like if I'm gonna toot my own horn for a hot minute, everything that I've ever personally tried that I've wanted to do, I've pretty much been good at.
Okay.
But I have this level of humility that's even starting to piss me off.
Yeah, humble pie
Because
starts to
I'm
taste
like,
stale after a while.
Because I'm like, okay, at this point, like I'm not really acknowledging
Your greatness.
I'm not really acknowledging the things that I'm good at. I'm not really acknowledging the level that I should be at, or the level that I should be working to, or even the level that I'm currently at. Like, even with like my writing and stuff, my blog. But the fact that I think one of the reasons I haven't kept it up is because it takes so long. But I remember after doing that, I was like, and I started my blog, I was like, you're a good writer. Like, as you're a good writer, do you know what I mean? You can write, like, you're a good writer. And there's loads of things that I've tried, public speaking, and I feel like I'm good at that too. But at the same time, as much as I'm good at it, this idea of having my opinion out there all the time doesn't sit well with me, because I feel like you need a certain character to be able to build a skin thick enough to deal with that. And I don't know if I'll ever reach that place. And as much as I've got to a place now where it's helped me realize my potential, I feel like being in this situation, I feel like even though it's taken a while, I feel like it's helped me realize my potential. And I'm starting to be like, yeah, humility is good, but at the end of the day, you really have to believe in yourself, and you really have to believe in your source. Like, you really have to. Do you know what I mean? And it's actually so much harder than you would think. And the thing is, you don't even realize you don't believe in your own source. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
You don't even realize that you're like, you're not rating yourself.
I do that all the time. So like one of the biggest complaints a lot of my friends have with me is that I'm very deprecating. As in, I'm the first one to kind of, if someone gives me a compliment, I'll probably take the piss out of myself. Or I'll underplay my
Keep nodding his head like,
endeavours. I know he's not nodding his head. I can feel it. I can feel it in the back of my head. But going back to your point in terms of like having to affirm your greatness and having to like always put at the forefront what you're actually capable of. Like, I'm in a similar kind of position to you, where most things I do, I'm pretty good at. Like, even when it comes to things that I make or create or just practical skills, everyone's like, why don't you make money off of that?
Yeah.
Why don't you do this? Like, oh, you know how to fix